Hey everybody, Weldon Eldon here, and today we have a project that we are going to be working on. So this here is a little tractor work cart deal that is run on diesel, and you will notice that there's a ratchet strap there, there's a fuel tank here, and this support down here, which is supposed to be holding the fuel tank, has broken off. So we're going to be pulling this apart and seeing what we can find. Now, first thing that I want to do when I start this project is I want to come over here to the battery and I want to get this disconnected. This might seem trivial to some, but for me, I'd rather have this disconnected and minimize any chance of a rogue spark setting something on fire. This thing is pretty oily and greasy down here, so I'd much rather be safe and cautious rather than reckless and in a dangerous situation. So let's get that disconnected. So there's always a fun thing that you find when you're working on stuff. So first off, these come off with just these little wing nuts, which is kind of nice and convenient. But the other thing that has me slightly more worried is the fact that this terminal, I can unscrew it by hand. Ugh, gotta love it. So we are going to grab our 1/2 inch and just tighten that up a little bit so that I don't have to feel like that's going to pop off at any time. Anyway, fun things that you see. Put the wrench back. Make sure you organize your tools as you're going through a project. Pop this off. Alright, battery disconnected. Now we can move on to the gas tank. Keep your hardware in line and just put it back where you found it. Always good practice right there. Alright, on to the gas tank. Okay, so on to the gas tank here. One thing that I did that you aren't seeing is I've taken a picture of all of this with my phone just so that I have a reference to put it back together. But we've got 2 wires that need to come off. These should just pull right off. Like so. And like so. There's the 2 wires. Orange on my left. Get those out of the way. Then we undo the hose clamps over here. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch socket on my ratchet. If I can use sockets on things like this, I prefer to, because these little slots here for the screwdriver are pretty easy to strip, and I have had to deal with a lot of those in my time. So, loosen that up. This machine has been sitting for a while, so I'm hoping all of the fuel has drained back into the tank by now. Set this up. Yeah, it's a little sticky. Come on. Okay, well, should be loose enough. Now we just gotta see if we can get these hoses off. Oh, those might be a bugger. Does that just pull out? No, it won't. Okay. Alright, hang on, I've got a tool for this. Alright. Hose pliers. These things can save your life sometimes when you're dealing with hoses. Oh, that is in there. Okay, there's one off. Open sesame. Ooh. Yeah, you can see just how unstable this tank is. Okay. Yeah, usually once you get them started like that, then they come off pretty easy. Alright, there's that. We've got this bungee cord. And now it's just a matter of, well, there we go, fishing it out. Get this. Oh boy. Okay, this strap is going to have to come off. And there we go. Put the washer and the nut back on so that you don't have to go hunting around for them again later. All right, Mr. Fuel Tank, out we come. Whew. Okay, fuel tank off to the side, get this out of the way, and now we can see the damage. This thing hit hard, didn't it? Okay, set the bungee off to the side and unhook it from the strap. Okay. Well, I'm going to see what I want to do with this thing for a bit here. Okay. So what I've decided to do is I found 2 bolts in the back here. One there, one on the other side. And it looks like that's all that's holding this tray up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get those bolts off. And then hopefully I can kind of reshape this tray and get it back looking about what it's supposed to be. So, Editor Weldon Eldon, please remember to turn down the volume on this because it's probably going to get a bit loud. That worked out well. Grab a 15. Tech tip, if you've got these little ratcheting ends on these, don't impact on these. You will break them, just so you all know. Okay, lefty-loosey. See if we can get this broken loose or not. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. Come on, get on there. Doing everything by feel here. Ooh. Okay. Them SOBs are on there. That's a problem. Okay, lefty-loosey. Push downwards on this bolt. This thing is so... Oh boy. This might work, this might not. Okay. New method. Okay. Some days you just need to get the big tools. Come on, get on there. Yeah. Bolt's not so tough when it's got a couple of pounds of force behind it, huh? That little tech tip I said about not impacting through your ratchet drives on your wrenches also applies to your ratchets as well. Because I have seen those ratchet mechanisms get rattled out of there like nobody's business before. Well, that sounded good. Get on there. Probably has something to do with that piece of metal right there. Next tech tip. If you need to bend some metal out of the way, get a crescent wrench. Shrink it down to the size that you need. Preferably use a crescent wrench that you don't care too much about in case you break something. And you can just get on some of that sheet metal, just bend it right out of the way. Learning all sorts of stuff with welding Eldon today. Let's see if I can get a better bite on that bolt now. Other fun part about working on stuff like this, half the bolts are American Standard size. The other half are metric. Really? Oh. You know, some days it just be like that. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Someone very clearly did not want this to come off. Okay. Easier plan is probably going to be to take this one. Yeah. Get this hooked up under here. Come on. Sheesh. Ever wondering why people don't want to be auto mechanics anymore? This is a prime example right here. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go get the lube. Alright. Got some penetrating lube here. This on those bolts. Please wear your safety glasses when you're spraying anything. I can get a little bit down there. I think this bottle's about empty. Okay. We're gonna let that stuff sit and soak in for a while, and hopefully it will be less of a punk to get out. So, finally got the plate out. That was a bugger. And this thing is mangled. So, we're going to take it over to the workbench and see if we can unmangle it just a bit here. Well, we got the thing off, and then I found out that the other camera that was supposed to be recording everything was not recording everything. So I've been attempting to weld up this split here. I've got a little bit of fusion in some spots, but for the most part it's just blowing out. So we are going to go run to the hardware store, get some emergency supplies, and then be back and see if we can get this thing to go back together. So yeah, also we did a lot of hammering on it. It's a little bit straighter than when I got it off or when you guys last saw it. Again, I didn't realize the other camera had wigged out on me, but it is coming along. Okay, so plan A didn't work. So what we're going to do here, since the metal is so fatigued, we're going to add a piece of angle here. give me something to put some heat into. So we're going to see how this goes. Alright, so after much frustration, swearing, and cursing, I have finally just said there is too much rust on this thing to get the full weld, and we're just going to stop with the little amounts of spatter that I was able to put down. This side actually came out alright. Not horrid. There's still a couple of holes and whatnot, but that is prime reason why you just don't weld on fully rusted through metal. It doesn't work too well. Anyway, I'm going to get this cleaned up a bit here, and then we will look at trying to get this thing finished up and remounted. Alrighty, so we've done a rough cleanup job on that. This is going to be one of those good enough for what it is projects. And then we've also prepped down here, and we're going to weld a few washers on in order to replace the tab that fell off. Stay tuned. Alrighty, so went through, welded in the washers, got that reinforced up. Not the prettiest weld ever, but it'll hold. And for what it is, it'll do. It'll do. So I'm going to go and grind all this back flat. Hopefully my camera will focus sometime. Probably not. But we're going to get that ground flat and then get it back on the machine. And voila, the tray is back in. Got that fixed back in. We've added some reinforcement with the carriage bolts. So hopefully this will work. Alright guys, so we got the thing in. It's all bolted up. And this is where we're going to leave the project. We've got a little heat radiator on here, so we put some fresh paint, and the paint has been drying very slowly. It's still kind of tacky in a couple of areas, so we're going to let the heat soak into it, and hopefully it will cure up overnight. But this is where we're going to leave this project for now. I will be heading back up to my home here tomorrow. So I am going to leave it in the capable hands of the mechanics who are going to be working on this thing next to put it all back together. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.